students, welcome to our physics class. Our chapter name is motion and time. In the last two classes, we are discussing about this chapter. First, we discussed about the topic motion. Then we discussed about the types of motion. The next topic was speed. Then we discussed about the time. That means especially measurement of time. Measurement of time. These are the things we discussed in our last classes. Now we are going to discuss the further topics, and today's first topic is the unit of time. Unit of time. The fundamental things about the unit you already studied in your 6th standard. Now we are just going to study the unit of time. What is the standard unit of time? You can see that we are using different types of units to measure time. For example, we are using 1 second is there. Sometimes we are using 1 minute like that. 1 hour is there. Like different types of units we are using there. And also we have 1 millisecond, 1 nanosecond, like different types of units. Now my first question is, what is the standard unit? We are saying it like that, SI unit, standard unit. So which is the SI unit of time? The SI unit of time is second. That means the basic unit is second. Second. And we denote this with small letter. Yes. So when we want to say it as 5 seconds, it is like this, 5 seconds. So this is the fundamental unit for time, or basic unit of time, and that is second. And also we have another units, and that is largest units or larger units. Larger units. And which are they? They are minute and hour. Minute and hour. How we are denoting this minute? We are denoting the minute using M-I-N. All are small letters. Minute, M-I-N. We are not using this M because we are already using this M for the meter. That's why we are using M-I-N, minute. And what we are using for the hour, we can use the small letter H. This is for hour. That means when we want to talk it is 5 hours, we are writing it as 5H, small letter H. And when we want to talk it as 10 minutes, we are writing it as 10, M-I-N, 10 minutes. So this is about the unit of time. Now we want to study something, the relation between this. That means this second, this minute and this hour, they are mutually related. Now we want to study what is the relation between this. That is the next thing we are going to study. Now the question is, 1 minute equal to dash second. How many seconds are there in 1 minute? There are 60 seconds. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. You want to study this. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Next is, in 1 hour, there are how many minutes? There are 60 minutes are there. In 1 hour, there we have 60 minutes. Now my question is, in 1 hour, how many seconds are there? How we can find it? I already said that in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. 60. And in 1 minute we have 60 seconds. So for finding the number of seconds in 1 hour, we want to multiply this 60 and this 60. Very simple, we are multiplying this 60 and this 60. So we get the answer as 3600 seconds. So in 1 hour we have 3600 seconds are there. Here you want to remember 1 minute equal to 60 seconds. The first thing. The second thing is this, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So in 1 hour we have 3600 seconds. You just want to remember these all things. So this is the relation between the minute, second and the hour. Now next we want to study about the unit of speed. Unit of speed. Unit of speed. What is the equation of speed? We already discussed that. The equation of speed is speed equal to distance by time. This is what the equation for speed. Now we are going to find the unit for this speed. We are finding the unit for speed is like that. We just analyze the unit for the distance and the unit for time and we are just making it together. That is, we are doing to find the unit of speed. So, what is the unit of distance? When I am traveling from the point A to the point B, what I say? I will say that sometimes in centimeter, sometimes in meter, sometimes in kilometer, like that. So, the basic unit of distance is what? Meter. So, the unit is meter. I am just putting it there. And what about the time? We already studied that. Second. So, meter per second. This is the unit for speed. And I will show you one thing. We never write the unit like meter divided by second, like this. This is wrong. We want to write it like this. That means we want to write it by putting the bar, meter per second. And we are not using such a method to notate the unit. So, want to remember this, meter per second. So, this is the unit for speed, meter per second. And also, this is what the basic unit. Basic unit. And also we have another units and that is meter per minute. Meter per minute. Or also we have kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. So this is also what the unit for the speed. But the basic unit is meter per second. What is the meaning of this meter per second? That means that in 1 second, how much meter we are traveling. That is the meaning. Or in 1 minute, how much meter we are traveling. Or in 1 hour, how much kilometer we are traveling. That is simply the meaning. So you just want to remember the unit of speed. The basic unit is meter per second. And we are also using meter per minute or kilometer per hour, like different units are there. And also we have to remember something about writing the unit, as we always write the unit in singular form. In singular form. For example, we are talking about 50 kilometer. That means we want to write 50 kilometer. And we don't want to write it as 50 kilometers. This is wrong and this is right. And also 8 centimeter. This is right. And when we are writing it as 8 centimeters, this is wrong. So always we want to write the unit in singular form and we are not using it as plural form. So just remember that. Something basics for writing the unit. Now we are going to do one question. The question is this. How many seconds are there in a day? How many seconds are there in a day? That is the question. So for that we just want to find a day means how many hours we have? 24 hours. 24 hours we have. And 1 hour means how many seconds are there? There are 3600 seconds are there. So we want to find the number of seconds together in a day. That means we want to multiply this and this. So a day includes 24 into 3600. When we multiply these two, we get the number of seconds present in a day. That means 24 hours. So when you multiply this, you get the value as 86400 seconds. This much seconds are there in a day. 86400 seconds. So here we are just doing that. First writing the number of hours in a day. Our question is this. How many seconds are there in a day? We want to find the number of seconds in a day. For that, first we are finding the number of hours present in a day. That is 24 hours. Then we are finding the number of seconds present in 1 hour. In 1 hour we have 3600 seconds. So very simple. We just want to multiply this 3600 with this 24. Then we get it as 86400 seconds. This is one question. Next we have another question. The similar type question. The question is this. How many hours are there in a year? How many hours are there in a year? How many years are there in 1 year? That is our question. Again, 1 day, how many hours are there? We have 24 hours. 24 hours in a day. Now we want to find number of days present in 1 year. Number of days equal to how many days are there in 1 year? We have 365.24 days. This is actually the accurate value of number of days present in 1 year. Now for this problem I am just taking approximately this as I am just rounding it and taking it as 365 days. So now what we do? We want to find the number of hours totally present in 1 year. Then what we do? As the previous question, we want to multiply this with this. Very simple. So the total number of hours present in 1 year equal to the number of days 365 into total number of hours in a day. That means 24 hours. When we multiply this, we get the total number of hours present in 1 year. The value is this. When we multiply this, we get 8760 hours. 8760 hours. So, in 1 year, we have 8760 hours present. So, this is all about our question. Very simple. We are just multiplying these values. Now, we are going to the next topic. Before that, we are using different types of units for the time. We are just selecting it as our convenience. That means what unit we are using to denote the year, how many years I have. That means we want to represent the age of a person. Generally what we are using that person is 5 years old or 10 years old. Like that we are using. That means we are using the year. We are counting the year. Why we are using that year? When we are selecting the number of days or the number of hours like that, the quantity will be a huge one and that is difficult to identify. That's why we are using the year for representing the age. That means for our convenience we are using a certain type of notation for each and every time measurement. Just like that. Now we are going to the next question. Sorry, the next part. That is the measurement of speed. Measurement of speed. I already mentioned some of the things in our previous class also. Now the question is how we can measure the speed. For example, here I am just giving one example that a person at the initial stage, this person is standing at the point A. Then this person is start to travel. Just means that he start traveling. And then he reached at the point B. That the person at the initial stage at the point A and after some time he is at B and then stopped. Now we want to find the speed of this person. How we can find? We know our equation is speed equal to distance divided by time. That means we want to measure the distance traveled by this person and also we want to find the time taken by this person and then just divide these two quantities. That is the thing we want to do here. So this person traveled, for example, 100 meters. This person traveled 100 meters from this point A to point B. And for that he took the time 10 seconds. Now we have the value. Sometimes we want to find this length using a tag or some like or the device or somehow we are just measured the value of the distance traveled by this person. So and also we have the time. Then how we find the speed? Very simple. We just find the speed equal to, we are just taking the distance and that is this 100 meter. 100 meter divided by this 10 seconds. So our value is 10 meter per second. This is what the speed. Speed is equal to 10 meter per second. So this in the similar way we just want to find the speed. Very simple. Just find the or just measure the distance traveled by the object and also find how much time just take and then divide the both values. Now we are going to do some problems related to this. But in some cases we will get trouble because in some questions they will give like that. Some change in the unit. That means if our question having 10 meter per second, it is okay. You just continue your problem. But in some questions you can see that 10 kilometer per hour. In such cases, we want to convert this kilometer to meter per second. For that, we have one equation and we want to convert this kilometer per hour to meter per second. Now we are going to study how we can convert a unit from kilometer per hour to meter per second. Very simple. Now we are going to discuss that. A person is traveling with a speed, a person is traveling with a speed of 10 kilometer per hour. The question is this, convert this 10 kilometer per hour equal to dash meter per second. That is the question. 10 kilometer per hour to dash meter per second. That is our question. Now I am going to explain how we want to do this. 10 kilometer per hour implies. Now just observe what I am doing. This 10 into how many meters are this 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer is equal to dash meter. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. So I want to multiply this 1000 here. And also one thing is there, we have the second also now. So divided by, we have the hour to second. In an hour, how many? 1 hour is equal to how many minutes are there? We have 60 minutes. And how many seconds are there? 60 seconds. So 60 into 60. That I want to divide here. 60 into 60. So for converting this kilometer per hour to meter per second, we want to do this. We want to multiply this with 1000 by 60 into 60. This is the basic thing. But now I am going to cut this and I am going to give you a small quantity to multiply. Just observe here. I am just cutting this and cutting this. Then I get what? This is equal to 10 into 10 by 6 into 6. Again I am going to cut this and then I get it as I am cutting this 10 by 2. Then I get 5 and I am cutting this 6 by 2, then I get it as 3. So the final thing I want to multiply is 10 into 5 by 18. This is the value, 10 into 5 by 18. So no need of doing these all things. When the question to convert the kilometer per hour to meter per second, what you want to do? Just take the value. Here we have 10 into 5 by 18. Only want to do this. First you want to multiply this 10 and 5, then divide the quantity with the 18. This we want to do. Now I am just going to do that. So our final value is this. I am just going to multiply this 10 with 5, then 50 by 80. When you divide this, you get the value as 2.7 meter per second. This is the value. That is, the meaning is this, our 10 kilometer per hour means that is equal to 2.7 meter per second. This is the meaning. Now we are going to do more examples for this. The another example is this. We want to convert 320 kilometer per hour convert to meter per second. How we can convert this? We want to take this value 320, write this 320 into what we want to multiply. We want to multiply it by 5 by 80. This is the conversion. So you want to multiply this 320 with the 5 and then divide the quantity by 80. So we get it as, when we multiply this 320 with 5, you get the value 1600 and then divide this by 18 and you get the value 88.8 meter per second. So the meaning is this, there is nothing. If you know to multiply and divide, then you get the answer. So this is what the meaning is this, the 320 kilometer per hour is equal to 320 meter per hour is equal to 88.8 meter per second. This is the meaning for this. Now again we are doing one more example with 100. The question is this, convert 100 kilometer per hour to meter per second. How we are doing this? Again we are taking this 100 and right, and then multiply this by 5 by 80. So when we multiply these two quantities, we get it as 500 by 18, or also you can do by cutting or anything. So the final answer is this. You get 27.8 meter per second. The meaning is this 100 kilometer per hour means 27.8 meter per second. This is how we want to convert this. Now I am going to conclude this session as, that means I am just writing one equation for this. So x kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 into x meter per second. This is the equation. X kilometer per hour is equal to, we want to multiply the quantity with 5 by 18 with the quantity there in the question. Then we get the corresponding meter per second for the kilometer per hour. So you want to remember this and also want to study how to convert this kilometer per hour to meter per second. Now we are going to do some questions. The first one is this. The equation speed is equal to distance divided by time. The first question is this. Anu traveled a distance of 500 meter in 20 seconds. Find speed. The question is this. Anu traveled distance equal to 500 meter, and the time is equal to 20 seconds, and find speed. Very straight question. So here we have distance is the, time is the, and the unit is in basic unit. So very simple. How we can find the speed? This is our equation. Speed is equal to distance by time. So 500 divided by 20, and how much is this? 25 meter per second. This is what the speed, 25 meter per second. Here we are just writing the values. When you are doing the mathematical problem, first read the question, then want to write what are the things given in the question. Then after, write the equation and then put the values and finally write the answer. Now we are doing the next question with the same equation. The question is this. A car travels with a speed. A car travels with a speed 800 kilometer per hour in 100 seconds. That means the time equal to 100 seconds. Find distance. Find distance. So in this question we have speed is here and time also given. We don't know the distance. So how we can find the distance? Very simple. We are just taking this time to this side of the equation. Here it is division, and when this time is, that means this division is moving to this side, what happens? That division will turn into multiplication. So we can write the equation as speed into time is equal to distance, or distance equal to speed multiplied by time. Speed into time is what? The distance. We are just taking this time to this side. Here it is division, and when it is moving to the other part of the equation, what happens? Speed into, or speed multiplied with time. That is what? The distance. Here we have one problem. That is what? They just gave it in kilometer per hour. So in this question we want to convert this kilometer per hour to meter per second. Actually in the question they don't give it as want to find it, but silently it means like that because the time is there with second. So we want to convert this and then only we will multiply the value. So here we want to find the distance and we know the equation is distance is equal to speed into time. That is equal to, here the speed is in kilometer per hour, 800. And how we can convert this? We want to multiply it by 5 by 18. 5 by 18. I am making it together. Into this time is 100 seconds. 100 seconds. So here we are just doing multiply this 800 into 5 into 100 whole divided by 18. That is the method. So when we divide this, when we multiply this, we get it as 4000 by 18. 4000 by 18, and when we find the answer, we get it as 222.2 meter per second. Sorry, what we are finding? We are finding the distance. So our unit is meter. 222.2 meter. This is the distance travelled by the car. So here the question is very simple, but we have speed here and time, but we don't know the distance. So we just replace the equation as distance is equal to speed into time. Speed multiplied with time. So the thing is that here the speed is in kilometer per hour. So we want to multiply that 800 with 5 by 18. And so then we are making it together. 800 into 5 into 100. Then we get it as 4000 and then divide with this 18 and finally we get it as 222.2 meter. This is the question. And in this area, one more question is the very simple. The question is this: a ball rolls a distance. A ball rolls a distance of 120 meter with a speed 20 meter per second. Find the time taken by the ball. Time taken by the ball. This is the question. So we know that what is the equation? Speed is equal to distance divided by time. Speed is equal to distance by time. And here we have the distance here and the speed here. We don't know the time. Then how we can make the equation? Here I am just taking this time to this side. Then what happens? That will be get into multiplication. That is speed into time equal to distance. What we want to find? We want to find the time. So I am just taking this speed again to this side. Here what is the speed? That is multiplication. When multiplication moves to the other side of the equation, what happens? That will get into division. That means this time equal to distance divided by speed. Distance divided by speed. This is the equation for the time. So very straight question. We have the distance is here and the speed. So 120 divided by 20. When we calculate this, we get the value as 6 seconds. This is the time. So here we calculated 3 problems and we just made sum of the difference with the equation speed is equal to distance by time. That means we want to make the equation by finding what the thing we want to observe or what we want to find. That means here we made 3 equations. The first is you want to by heart this. The first one is speed equal to distance divided by time. Our first equation. The second one is distance equal to speed into time. Speed into time. And also we have third equation, time equal to distance divided by the speed. These are the three equations and we have mathematical problems. So you want to remember these three equations and want to know how we can do the problems. And in this area, the only thing is that we want to know the division and multiplication. Only thing we are doing here. So it's enough for today and we will meet in the next class with the further topics like the speedometer, odometer and all the things and how to draw graph. These things we will discuss in our next class. You want to read your textbook 3-4 times and also want to write the notes and we will meet in the another class with another topic. Thank you.